Yeah, it was like I had to fight again in a good way. I was just sitting here thinking about when God got me out of these situations. I wanted to get out of it the godly way, and I had to leave the woman in the red dress. I had to leave. I had to leave the the gangster friend, the plug. I had to leave everybody. They wasn't really worth leaving, bro. They were decent people, but God said I had to leave. I had to elevate. I ain't have to leave. I couldn't leave. I had to continue to deal with these people, that they were family and stuff. And I was stuck here. I couldn't move. But I had to leave their vibration, their frequency. I had to, I had to, I had to elevate out of the frequency. Couldn't go around the frequency. I couldn't. I had to be in the frequency without being in the frequency. I elevated out of the frequency. They played dice, I played music. You know, they talked about somebody else or killing somebody or going to kill somebody. I didn't. I talked about music. They plotted on somebody. I talked about music. Talked about cars. I talked about building cars. Talked about building bikes. I was stuck on the street. I didn't participate. I couldn't leave it. They wouldn't let me leave it. If I left it, I would have had to claim what was mine, and that would have hurt the community, the country, probably the town. So they had to make sure. I used to hear, like I said, I used to go to people's houses and visit. That's one of the reasons why it was so easy for me to start visiting people. Cause I always had female friends, and the female was like, "Let's go such and such," and we'll go. I knew everybody, so it wasn't no problem. I just like hanging around females. I love females. I think they're sexy. I think they're just beautiful. But I didn't sleep with them and that. I wouldn't even flirt with them. They would try to flirt with me, but I had employed females when I was in the streets. They were working for me, so I kind of know how. And I growed up around pimps and players. I just know how to deal with females. About like cat, bro. I just know how to deal with them. And they just love me to be around. Some of them being like, used to being like aggressive situations, and they felt comfortable and safe when I was there, even if it was around their own husband. So I just like females. I just love females, boy. I mean, I ain't like that now. I can hang myself now. I hang myself. I get them to drive my cars, you know. If I wanted to have a couple drinks and I had to go pick up something in Atlanta, I get them to drive me out there. You know, they'd drive me, you know, whatever. Ooh, one time I got so intoxicated though. I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna let that go. Ooh wee, I was gone though. That was rough. I'm glad I got through that alive. Man. God was with me. God was with me, y'all. God was with me. I used to wake up in the bed with females I wouldn't even sleep with. I don't know how I got in this bed with females. There'd be a bunch of females in the bed. I'd be in the bed, I'd just be asleep. I ain't sleep with them or nothing. I slept on my stomach. Because they were bad about trying stuff. I slept on my stomach. And they were like, they never would ask me what wrong with me. They knew. They just knew. I think people just felt God in me. Even when I was in the street, they just knew not to touch me if I said don't touch me. They wanted to. They loved me. They loved me like I loved them, but I respected them, they respected me. It was just business. It was mainly just business. But anyway, when I had to abstract myself out of that shit, that was the hardest thing in the world for me, y'all. I told my father, I said, I hope nobody else has to deal with that. I hope after I deal with this, nobody has to go to the, because to have to evolve yourself out of killers, prostitutes, rapists and all that, have to evolve yourself out of them situations and still have to and still have to deal with the frequency. That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare for a while, because every day you gotta fight. It's like a gang member. It's like being in a town full of gang members and you the only one that ain't in no gang. It's always a fight, always a fight, it's always a fight, it's always a fight. Everybody plotting on you, female, male, everybody plotting on you. It's always. So when God, when just like I went in there the same way I had to come out of there, and when I had to abstract myself out of them situations, it molded me beautifully. It molded me to the point where I'm a beautiful person, and people would try to look at me and say think they could take me for weakness, but that never lasts long, because they'll ask somebody. The beautiful thing about that is they'll ask somebody before they try me, and that person say, "Oh no, don't deal with him, don't do that. No, he an OG." They'll be like, "Don't do that. No, he growed up in the street. Don't do that. Don't do that. Leave him alone." That's what they'll tell him. They'll be like, "Leave him alone. He growed up in the street. Don't bother him like that." And like I said, the only problems I had was the women that would pay for my family to hurt me, and they was in the bed with me, and they would just go to extreme measures, bro. Hit me hard as they could, and these women started doing magic on me, done got up 200, 300, 400 pounds, and they hit you hard as they could, they'd break your neck. And they just they'll keep doing stuff like that. And if I put my hands on them one time, they'll go around, tell everybody, show everybody if I slap them. They'll go around and show everybody. And it probably was a self-defense slap. You know what I'm saying? If they got on me, like some of them would get on me. Like, you know, if I tell them to move calmly, if you even talk to them calmly, they get worse and worse and madder and madder. They'll jump on you. And you got to defend yourself. It went about 300 pounds, but they'll break you down. You got to get them off of you. You get them off of you, oh, they can go around and say, "Oh, call the law on you at your house, in the comfort of your home. Call the law on you. The law's come and lock you up." They don't even worry about that person. They lock you up in your property. I'm telling y'all laws, I ain't really feeling y'all around here right now. I ain't even feeling y'all at all, bro. 'Cause I'm so sick of y'all. Every single time I got in some trouble out here, y'all always locked me up, and I wasn't the one that supposed to been locked up. This is my property. This was my. I'm in the comfort of my own home. Y'all came in here and took my child from me. I ain't feeling y'all, bro. Not all laws, just these laws around. I ain't feeling y'all, bro. I just ain't feeling y'all at all, bro. I'm sorry to say that, and I apologize to God. I don't even apologize to y'all. I apologize to God, because the justice is supposed to be justice. Justice is supposed to be good for the people, help the people. I apologize, God, that justice is so distorted down here now. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of my feelings. But like I said, it was hard to abstract yourself out of these shit, but it was beautiful because it remolded you, remodified you into something. Ooh. If only I could show y'all the fire inside me. I'm telling you. I remember when I was going through such a moment. I was going to church, then I had to. And I had that vision, that dream. It was a dream. And I was in Antarctica. I supposed to have moved to Antarctica in 2020. I supposed to have met a girl in Antarctica. There was somebody expecting me in Antarctica. I said it was too cold out there. I wasn't going out there. I should have went though. But anyway, I was in Antarctica, and I was in some kind of little egg-like building. And I was scared. I was holding on a woman. I don't even think she was my mama. I think even in that dream, I was a abandoned child, and I was just staying with people. And I was holding on, but it was a storm, a great storm, like no other. And in the midst of this storm, somebody came and knocked on the door. When they knocked on the door, it sounded like frequencies. You know, when they knocked on the door, it felt like the whole house shook. And this home was built like steel. This home was built. But when whoever knocked on the door, the knock scared us more than the storm. And when we opened it up, and this was the fire blaze entity. Beautifulest fire you ever seen in your life. It looked like it just so beautiful. All the color was in it. It was just fire. It was so beautiful. You feel like you could touch it. You know you ain't supposed to touch fire. And he gave me a yeast roll. It looked like a yeast roll, and the yeast roll looked just like the fire. And I ate he said, eat this, you'll always be safe. And I ate the yeast roll, and it tasted sweet going in and bitter going down. And ever since then, voila, I've been having it's been beautiful. It's been beautiful. But anyway, I went into this and the thing about it was flooded outside. So it was like when the entity gave me the it was like one of his foot was in the sand and one was in the water. And he gave me that yeast roll. But the yeast roll was it looked like a yeast roll the way it was made. But it looked at the fire, I was scared to eat it. But I ate it, and it tasted sweet going in and bitter going down. 11/11. When I said that. And I just started realizing when you truly elevate with God, nothing can stop you. So I started practicing. I was like, wait a minute, I got power. Ain't nobody hurting me. It's like the people standing down, like entities standing down. Monsters are standing down. Group organizations is standing down. Mountains is standing down. I'm like, oh my God. All you gotta do is truly be real with God, because Satan got a gift, like God got a gift. And Satan gonna know what's deeply rooted in you that you hide from the dark. You can't hide from the dark. See what I'm saying? Satan owns the dark. You can't hide from the dark. So Satan gonna use that against you. So I had to truly change. And when I truly changed, it was like I could tell Satan away from me. Bow down. And it just get away from me. Like that time I told y'all, they killed me, I died in my sleep. Or somebody when they sacrificed, the day they sacrificed me for this moment, I got a vision, I got a visitor in this house. Things shook in the house. And people felt it around the house. People thought it was a earthquake. And we don't get earthquakes around here. Go look it up. The furniture was moving in the house. And I levitated off my bed. I didn't even tell nobody. I asked my partner. I said, y'all felt it? They felt, everybody felt. I went to work. They felt it. I'm like, y'all felt it? But what they didn't know is, I was in my room, and this monstrous looking thing had horns hanging out his leg. And for some reason, I wasn't even scared at all. But when it came into my room, I levitated. My eyes turned fiery like the sun. My eyes looked just like the sun. And I remember levitating off my bed and I saying, you ain't supposed to be here. My whole attitude changed. I didn't even know who I was. When that energy and that presence came into my room, I just levitated off my bed and I said, you ain't supposed to be here. It was like I was levitated off my bed like that man on, I always forget his name. He must be vibrating real high. Nicolas Cage. On that movie when he had that fire with the chains and stuff. When he spit around, and I was just like that. And it was like I was just levitated. I was telling you, I felt power. I was like, if I had this kind of power over here, oh, y'all wouldn't have had a breathing chance. y'all wouldn't have had a breathing. It wouldn't have been no competition. But anyway, when I levitated out the bed, I looked at the thing bent down on his knee like this and said, I just had to come and see for myself. Somebody actually sacrificed you. Just like that. That's when God told me, from that day forward, God was telling me everything I was going to go to up to this day. And y'all can go look at Facebook before I even really got in cars good. And every single thing I said from Facebook all the way up to now, the cars is just now starting to read some of the information. That should scare a lot of y'all. That's why I tell I hate for whoever stole my identity and stole my social sites and then AVA and copied and pasted, they were definitely working for the enemy. Because all that was confirmation. So somebody, it wasn't the fact that they was trying to keep me from getting somewhere. It was the fact that they was trying to keep me from reaching my goals and opportunity. Was the fact that they were trying to cover their tracks, the devil tracks, Satan track. They were trying to cover some tracks, because if people would have seen how much facts and truth, because I was talking about storms and everything was gonna come, and all that stuff came to pass. Everything I said came to pass just about. That's why I said whoever got the main copies of that stuff, you need to go raid them. And y'all need to go look at it thoroughly, real good, real good. But just like you looking people toilet bowls real good. You need to go look at them messages, bro. Get real with yourself. But I know I ain't trying to diss the toilet bowl, because I know that's part of the auction, whatever. But I'm gonna leave that up to you and God, bro. I'm God vessel. I'm God float. God gotta come in here. I can't be doing stuff like that when God using his float. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say that part, nigga. But anyway, yeah. So I felt good, 16-11. I felt good. I felt good when I mean, doing it, it was scared. I was terrified. Because most people that could elevate out of a situation, they get to get away from the people. I couldn't get away from the people. It was meant to be. It was for this book purpose. I couldn't get away from these people. I had to elevate in front of these people. And it's just, like I said, it's just as scary for a child that's in a gang-related neighborhood and deciding to be on his own. You know your chances of fighting every day is very high, very high. Well, imagine having to elevate. That's how I learned how not to judge people. That's how I learned how not to criticize people for what they do. Because some people have to do things just to get through. That's how I learned all that. Because I seen the pain underneath what you can't see. I seen when they get slapped. That's what it means when they get slapped on both cheeks. Somebody pressured them. Somebody stole their identity. Somebody stole their energy. So you shouldn't even be thinking about correcting this person anymore. You should be correcting the people who done suppressed those people. Game. Checkmate.